why. You have to decide what your hours of operation are, right? Because people are going to see that, and I'll give you some recommendations on that. And then Google My Business is going to ask you some other things about what industry you're in or what category business you're in. And I'll help you navigate through that too. So I'm not going to go through step by step how to set it up. If you want help with that, we can talk about that offline, but I'm going to kind of cruise through this because I want to focus on how to optimize it. So basically just Google My Business, right? Because they changed the URL and they change the name frequently also. Just go to sign in or manage now. They all do the same thing. And if you don't have a listing already, so if you had a listing that you were an administrator of, when you went to Google My Business, it would present to you the businesses that you had access to, right? If you don't, it's going to present the option to find your business. There's a small chance it could already be in their system. They want to make sure you're not creating a duplicate. So you want to type in your business name and do a search. And in this example, I did Dale's Window Washing. It obviously wasn't found. It's a fake company. But then it started to ask me my categories, right? So this is a really important, the mechanics of this are important, but the concept, I believe, is even more important. When we're thinking about matching our business to a potential customer, we want to think about intent, right? So if I'm doing window washing, right? Maybe I also sell window products, right? Or maybe I also do tinting, right? You have to think about what's the best match for my customer where they want to actually buy something from me. So maybe I sell window washing supplies, but it's not my main thing. I want to do more actual washing, right? So you might be presented with all these categories and you want to pick the one that has the most intent where someone would buy something from you.
Dale?
Yeah.
Sue has asked, I have set myself up on Google My Business already, but my business category is of course not listed. Photo organizer. So I think I'm under organizing. Is there any other way I can work with this? This kind of ties to what you just talked about.
Yes, I'm going to show you, but you have to pick a first category from one of their options. Okay. And I'll show you how you can create some secondary categories a little bit later on.
Okay.
It's going to ask you, and if you've set up a business profile and maybe you did this step incorrectly, if you want your address to show up in the maps when someone Googles your business name, or they're looking for pizza near me and a bunch of pizza places come up, you want to say, yes, you have a location where customers can visit. Okay. If you're doing this out of your house, you're technically breaking the Google guidelines. You can say no, and it will hide your address, but it's going to be a lot harder for you to get verified. So for example, if you're a bookkeeper and you're working out of your house, but it may stop you and say, you don't have a commercial address, I'm not going to let you do this. It might let it go through and say, prove to me that this is a business. In that case, you'd put a sign on the front door and you do something to say you have a business there. But you have to be careful because you might also be breaking some local guidelines. So like, for example, Barnstable, I don't think they allow things like that, but they have a permit for it. So just think about that when you're doing this. If you don't want your address to show up, click no, or set it to no, they cannot visit me. And if you do want to show, if you have a physical address where people can come, absolutely 100%, you want to click that yes button. And it's going to ask your address. Do you serve customers out of your location? You're going to say, so if you have an internet business, this isn't going to serve you very well. You're just going to put the US. If you're maybe a heating company, right? And I've got a heating company I do work with. They only go Chatham to Falmouth. They can't go up the Bend and they can't go off Cape. So we can set that up here where they won't appear for people outside of that geography. It's going to ask your phone number and your website. And then you're going to finish, right? This is just a little tease of information at this point. If you don't have a physical location, you click no, I don't want my address to show up. It's going to ask you where you serve and where you are, same type of information. You're going to get to the end. either way, whether you want your address to show up or not, you're going to be presented with a challenge that you actually exist. And the reason why they do this is it's to stop, what's to stop me from saying, I have a window washing business and I pick an address. Let's just say I just pick Cape Space, right? And then I've got a form on my website and, I've got a special, it's $100 to do your whole house. And if you pay in advance, I'll take an extra 10% off. There's nothing to stop me from doing that. So what Google My Business wants is they want to send you a postcard, or sometimes they'll want to call you. If you're very, very, very lucky, you can do a phone call. I have had that on occasion, but most likely they're going to want to send a postcard to the address where you said your business was stated. It's going to take about 5 days, and sometimes you have to request it multiple times.
Dale,
Yes.
Michelle wants to know about a business location, because it's not staffed normal hours and she hosts events at different locations. I'm setting up a new Google My Business called Yoga to Farms, and we go to other farms.
So this is a tough one, right? I have an office at Cape Space. It says we're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's when I answer the phone. We also say we're appointment only. So I'm technically breaking the Google guidelines, but in my case, someone's not going to show up unannounced at my business. Very, very rarely they do. You can't do this whole process if you don't bend that rule a little bit. And I'm not encouraging you to bend rules. I'm just saying this is what they want you to do. What they don't want to happen is you have a pizza place and you say you're open till 6 and someone comes at 5 and they've driven to you to get the service and now they can't be serviced. Okay. That's their whole goal. Google's whole goal, they're $1 billion company. Their whole goal, and once you understand this, the light bulb can help you use them better. They're in business to make money. They want people to search. They want people to get good answers, right? So if they find a great pizza place and they go there and it's open and the reviews are accurate, right? Next time they do a search, they might click on an ad, right? This is their whole game. They just want to give people good information, hoping that once in a while you will click on an ad. One of the biggest things here, so we can create our Google business listing, but if no one's finding it, it's not going to help us, right? So what we need to do is we need to match services that you provide with services that people in your area are looking for. And we do that through words, right? And you have to think about our language. So if I'm a window washer, right? Window washing services, window washing companies, window washing experts, local companies that do window washing. There's a million different combinations. Best, cheap, affordable, expert. You add all these words together and you can have literally hundreds of thousands of combinations. So what do, right? We want to do some keyword research, create some keyword research. Is basically Google gives us a way to find what people are actually looking for. We want to know what people are actually typing in, and then we want to create some content around that. That will tell Google that when that person is looking for the service, we're a good match. Okay. This could be a whole lesson in itself. And I offer my time as a volunteer to help you with this, with keyword research. If you want, you can go to Google and you can type in a phrase, right? It's called the Google Keyword Planner. It's free. Anybody can use it. You can type in a phrase and it will give you all the combinations of what people are actually typing. It'll give you the volume monthly. You can narrow down your geography. So in this example, I have Barnstable County. And then it will give me how competitive it is. You want to find the phrases that have the highest volume and the lowest competition. Okay. And that's going to be hard on Cape Cod because our area, I heard this phrase, we're 3 inches deep and 10 miles wide. We're not Boston. Like in Boston, in 1 square mile, you could have 10,000 queries for a business type in a mile. On Cape Cod, you might be looking at the whole county and it might show you there's only 10 searches a month or 10 to 100 a month. This part's going to be a little bit tricky, but it will tell you exactly what people are looking for and you want to be specific. So don't try to get window washing, right? Because that could be someone's wants to know how to wash their windows, or they want to know how frequently they should be doing it. You want things like the word companies, experts, services, near me, right? Near me. Think about the words that would actually connect someone wanting to purchase what you have and yourself. And there's a little bit of an art to that.
Can I ask, I got another question
Sure.
based on what you just talked about from Doug. I get a Google summary of most used keywords from Google. Are those the ones I need to concentrate on, or are they saying those are the words that match what I've used for keywords?
I think, so if you're talking about the email that Google My Business sends, that's called performance or insights, which we'll cover. That's telling you of all the times you appeared in search, those are the words that you appeared for. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean they're good searches. It just means that you showed up when someone typed that in. And I'll cover that a little bit more further on. This is what we call intent, right? So in this example, I picked a widget designer. I have a spreadsheet that I can send to you, or you can make your own. I get my key phrases and I try to put them into like little silos. So maybe I'll pick all the words that have designer or all the words that have expert, and I'll put them in like a column. And then I want to designate those to a page on my website. So maybe the word agency and the word company are both very prominent, right? I would pick one for my homepage, right? And in this top row here, the slash is a homepage. I've picked the word designs as my key, like my focus point for that page. You're going to want to put an H1 tag on your website to match, right? And then you're going to want to put some content on your website to match that phrase as well. And that's an art in itself, and I can show you some examples. Once you start to build your website out, right, with all this content, when your Google My Business listing gets verified, you're going to enter in the very same type of information. They're going to match, which also matches the intent of someone searching your site. What we don't want is someone is searching for your company and you've got some words on your website, but not in your Google business listing. Or you've got words that are matching someone's search in your business listing, but not on your website. We need to complete this whole circle for you to get found, best chances of getting found. All right, so let's recap. We signed up for Google My Business. The postcard's on its way. We did some keyword research. We know what people are looking for. We went to our website. We took those key phrases that people are looking for. We put some content on our website. Our postcard's here. Now we can actually get into Google My Business and play. You're going to have a code on it. You're going to go back to Google My Business and you're going to verify it. You're going to enter that code in. It's going to say, hey, life's great. Let's get going here. So in this example, I have CapeSpace, right? So if you want to go to your Google business listing, they've changed it recently. You can just type in your business name and it should show up and allow you to manage it, right? There's a lot of options here. And if you look, this is CapeSpace, right? 8,547 views this month. That's very compelling that a business listing is going to help your business, right? That's 8,500 people that may not have seen you had you not gone through this process. Okay, so next thing you do, I'm sorry, when you enter your code, let me go back in here. That slide was a little bit out of order. I can't move the Zoom controls. All right, there we go. All right, can you see okay?
Yep.
When you come back in, and this is where I think it was one of the participants had a question, you're going to have to pick a main category, but then you can pick your services, right? So there's going to be ones that are very close. If none of the services match, again, you have to pick one of the categories. You can come down and click add custom service. this is where you're going to put all of your key phrases, right? So for Cape Space, we, let's see here. For Cape Space, can you see that, Mark?
Yep.
When I added in, so she has some base products, which we put in, and then she has the services. You want to put in every combination of service that you have. So she has rooms that you can rent by the hour, right? So I don't want to just put rooms by the hour because that's not what people are looking for. People are searching online for deposition rooms, Zoom rooms, board meeting, rooms for board meetings, team building rooms. I took all of those key phrases and I made custom services out of them. And then Google My Business will also allow you to add content for those services. You want to repeat your phrase at least once, right? Or combinations of. And you want to try and max out the characters. Anytime they give you, so you don't want to be obnoxious about it, you want to be helpful. But if they give you 300 characters, try and write something meaningful within 300 characters, right? Is the customer going to see this? Probably not, but Google is going to take this into account when someone searches for Zoom rooms in Hyannis.
If your website is not ready, should you wait until the website is finished to do Google My Business?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. The only problem is the website button will be missing. So if I actually know an example of this. You would be missing the website button here, right?
Right.
So, and in this case, you're missing you're not going to get directions, but you'd be missing this little button here. I don't think it's a huge deal. And I think it would depend on what your business is. I do work for a dumpster rental company. You know, I think if you see a business and they've got a lot of great reviews and they click on the listing and they've got good reviews and they've got good photos, do you need a website? Maybe not. If you're in what I would call an emotionally driven business, divorce attorney, remodeling, insurance, something where it involves a relationship, I would wait until the website is. You don't have to wait until the website is done, but your chances of being found are going to be less likely. And the answer is no, you don't have to wait, because the reality is you're invisible now. No one's finding you on your business listing. So why not go ahead and create it anyways? Another way you can find services for your business listing, right? These custom services, this is one of the things you're going to want to pay attention to most. And I'll show you where that is. Another way you can do this is, you know, when you go to Google and you start typing in something and it gives you suggestions, look at those suggestions. Those are also either trending or phrases that people are typing in that could be related to your business. And again, look for intent, right? Window washing isn't the best phrase. Think about window washing. Think about, like, you know, window washing and high ceilings. Like, go out there, like, think about your business and what are on people's minds about your business, what could be interesting to them. Start typing those things in and add that to your business description. Because what if I'm in a condo complex, you know, and I'm on the third floor, whatever, and it's hard to get to, and I need my skylights done, or I don't know what. People might put in skylight window washing, right? Do your research and connect here. I mean, picking up one customer in a year because you spent 10 minutes doing this is going to be beneficial for you. When you're in your business, sorry, the Zoom controls are like consuming my screen. I mentioned that a great description is important, right? This is what people see when they actually search for your business. They see this description. I would recommend you start in a sales mode first. You want to say something really succinct, really crisp, almost like if you walked up to someone at a networking event and they asked you, what do? You would want to put that as your first sentence or two. After that, you want to go into a little bit more depth, and you want to try and work in those key phrases again there. So right now I'm focusing on mailboxes. So there's a lot of, private mailbox, virtual PO box. I've put in a lot of those keywords into this description right now, because that's something that we're working on to try and stay in the ranks. Your business description, you've got a 750 character limit, right? So that's not a ton to talk about. You want to be authentic. Don't try and trick anybody. Don't, wear the best this and that. Just be really straightforward, be right to the point. You want to make sure that you're giving this person who's searching a good match for your business. And that might mean, if you're a high-end remodeler, right? You might want to use words like modern elegance or something descriptive, so to help that searcher know that they are or not in the right place. Next thing we're going to talk about in your business listing is the ability to, right here, you can add photos. Photos are huge. Photos on a well-optimized business that's showing up in Google, there will be thousands of photo views a month. And for CapeSpace, this is a community place, right? So there's a lot of helpful things like, what does the space look like, right? What can you do while you're here? Where will you go? Where will you park? What are rooms like? But there's also, if you see here, there's some community things too, like showing people using the space. Here's a company having a party, or here's a boardroom, or here's a board meeting. These things are really important, right? Google's going to give you different categories for the photos. You want to make sure you have photos for every single category, right? So let's go back. Oh, it's not gonna tell me here. Interior. So the categories are interior, exterior. You can do a 360 walkthrough, which is something else we can talk about if you have a physical location. Photos of your team, your logo, and then you at work. So you at work could be anything from sitting at a desk talking to a customer to someone carrying in a heating unit into a home. I would really impress upon you, take really nice photos, use the photos to tell the story about your business, right? Someone's here making a buying decision. Put your best foot forward, use nice, clear photos. Don't steal copywritten photos. I've got an iPhone 13 here. It takes decent photos. Try and have them well lit and happy, smiling people in the space, using the service, something related to what you're doing. Give people a reason to want to contact you. I've got a slide here you can have. This will tell you the right size photos to use, right? So I would impress upon you, always think about the phone. Whenever you're taking a picture, I see a lot of people want to go landscape, which is fine, but always take a second one upright, because your photos are going to look better on a mobile phone, which is going to be a really high amount of traffic. You want to make sure that you take those photos in both orientations, and after you post your photo, you're going to actually want to go in and look at it and make sure it looks right.
Dale, can clients post to your Google My Business, or do they send to you and then you add?
No, clients can. So this is a mixed blessing here. Anybody can post a picture on your business profile. You can't take it down if you don't like it. You can flag it. And as you're going through the photos, a customer submitted photo will have a little flag in the bottom. I think it's the bottom right. And you have to say that photo either it violates privacy, it's inappropriate or inflammatory, something like that. If it's just a horrible photo, unfortunately, you can't. I think you might be able to flag it for poor quality, but in rare circumstances, are you going to get a photo taken down by somebody?
I have two more questions before you go on.
Yeah.
For a coaching business where the clients are primarily coached virtually from my home and only by appointment, what do you recommend for location?
My honest opinion is, so you have to think about the searcher, right? So do you want to grab strangers who are searching for your business, or is this going to be a referral type thing? If you're grabbing strangers, if that's not the right way to say it. If you're trying to attract new business from people you don't know through Google and through Google My Business, to me, it just looks better when you have a professional address. So like, I'm not advocating Cape Space. There are plenty of places around. There's a place in Plymouth, you got Chatham Works. It looks nice when you have a professional address, right? Especially, I would consider coaching to be kind of an intimate service, right? You're going to be telling this person some private things that you don't want to know. When I click on this business listing and I see it on Independence Drive, this is a weird photo. I don't know what's going on here.
There's my house. I saw it.
It should be outside. Let me try a different one. Let me try Keep Space again. Let's try Keep Space. Let's do Mashpee. Okay, see how it says see outside here? If someone doesn't know you, look at what we see here. We see your address, we see your reviews. If you had it at your house and you hid it, this wouldn't be here and the see outside wouldn't be here. If you showed your house and you showed the address, people are going to see your house, right? This is interesting. This is a video here. I can go to the street view. Now, what if I'm a little bit afraid of showing up to a location alone, right? If you have a professional address, I can look around here and I can say, okay, this looks legit. There's a high degree of trust in this address. You have to think about your business and what does that mean if the address is hidden or if it shows someone's house. And the reason why I came to Cape Space, I don't know, 5 years ago, I guess. I used my house and the Google camera came by and they took pictures while all my kids' bikes were out front. And it was a disaster. I was so embarrassed. And I was like, this is not the image that I want to portray in my business. So the address is really important. You can get a mailbox pretty reasonably priced and get that professional address.
Can you change the pictures?
You can't change the see outside, but if I go to the photos, so I can't change this, right? I can't change the street view. That's the Google car that comes by and takes the picture. I can change, however, this, I can change these photos. And it's weird. It usually lets me break it up into categories. Oh, another thing you'll notice is that the UI changes pretty much weekly. Where they put things, what they call them are going to change. So don't get frustrated if you can't find something. All right, I'm going to move on here. Got 20 minutes left. We've got plenty of time here. I'll go through these individually. Reviews. I can't tell you how much reviews impact your ability to attract new business. You want to Google your name, or you want to Google basically what you do, look at your competitors and see where you land. You know, if you've got a 1 5-star review and your competitors have 10, 20, 30, you really want to think about getting more reviews. I would want you to be neck and neck or even 10% higher than where they are. Not so much concerned about the numbers. So I would rather see you have a 4.8 with 30 reviews, even if someone had a 5.0 at 10 reviews, right? And if you've gotten a couple 4 or 3-star reviews, it happens to all of us. You just need to get even more. don't be discouraged by a bad review. You can turn those around. A tool that I really like and recommend is called Nice Job. If you're having a hard time getting the reviews, I think this is like $75 a month. It's a thing, so you basically give it your customers' information and they have a really nice way of asking for a review. It also shows up at the bottom of the screen here. So there's a image of it right here. This is called Social Proof. These have been found to be really effective for helping people have confidence in your business. So think about that. If you don't have a budget for something like this, you could try it for a few months, maybe build 10, 20 reviews, and then turn it off. And at least you still have the reviews in Google My Business. Next are posts. These are huge, right? If I come back here to my profile, I can do, they call it an update. They changed it to update. I can add an offer. I can put an event in here. I can just say what's going on. This was really helpful during COVID when guidelines were changing and we're open, we're closed, we're doing this, we're doing that. This was really nice. This will appear, anything that you type, it will appear a little bit lower. So, and they only last a certain amount of time. So I think I'm due here to probably do another one for CapeSpace. But you can add a little update about what you're doing and you can add photos, right? So let's say you're a seasonal business and you're opening in April. This is a great way. So if someone goes to your business and it says temporary closed, but you've got an update there and it says, hey, everyone, we're coming back strong for 2023. We're doing some remodeling. Check out the pictures. We'll be open on April 1st. Follow us on social and paste in your Facebook link or your Instagram link, right? This is a really nice way to let people know what's happening when they Google your business. It's also a great way to give Google signals about the services you provide. So let's say I want to help with finding training rooms, right? I might say, hey, did you know our training room is a great place for XYZ, ABC, and then put some photos of that, all right? And then I could put a button here. They could sign up online, learn more, book something, whatever it may be. This is a really nice tool, and this also does get used.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course.
Okay. How often do you recommend updating Google My Business?
Every month. So
Okay.
for our clients, we spend time every month. And again, this is my easy way out. Go to your Google business listing and click on every option, right? Click on edit profile, read it, change a few words, right? Change your description around a little bit. This is going to tell Google that you're eager for business, you're open for business, you're not stale, right? Try and get a review, add a photo, add an update. Change your service text around, go back and look at your services and say, are these all accurate? Are these still accurate? Do I have something new? Have I thought of a new word? Build this tool is here, build it out as much as you can and keep building it, okay?
Can you transfer reviews from your website to Google My Business?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
One more before you go on. I currently do a monthly ad, so I show up based on keywords. I max out at $50 a month. Should I expand that ad dollars per month?
I mean, $50 a month is not a lot, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't ask a lot more questions.
Okay.
If you want to take that offline, I'll be happy to help.
If the picture on my Google My Business is not my house, but my neighbor's house, can I get it changed?
Yes. So what you can do is you Google your business and then click on the map. And this actually happened yesterday. I had an attorney. The directions were taking them to the back parking lot where the dumpsters were. So what you can do is you can come into the map here, right? And let's say the pin is in the wrong place. You want to move it. You can come in here and you can suggest an edit. And then name or details. And then you can take this pin, right? You can edit the map location. And you can actually drag this pin. You can drag the map and reposition the pin. Like, let's just say you need to move it next door, and then you would click save. I'm not going to do it now because I would mess a lot of people up getting here. But I actually had one yesterday and they approved it. So that's how you would do that.
Okay, thanks.
These are great questions. Keep them coming. Oh, Q&A. This is really important, and I think this is a really good. What happened here? This is a really good exercise for business owners and nonprofits too. When I say business owner, I'll lump in nonprofits too, because they could have a business listing also. This Q&A feature right here. I always recommend at least 10 questions, right? Put your consultant hat on, and what are the questions that your customers or your clients are asking, right? Document those along with short, well thought out answers and add them. So I can come in here as a business owner and ask a question and then answer it as the business owner. This will also allow strangers to, or people, the general public to ask questions, but this is a tool that you can use. So think about like what people are asking you. If you have an intense service you're offering, like kitchen remodeling or consulting, something like big, people are going to look at this. They do get read. I know I don't look at them too often, but this is an opportunity for someone who's on the fence. This is also an opportunity to tell Google what we do, right? Can your training rooms be used for court depositions, right? I put in my keyword there, right? Yes, our training rooms can facilitate deposition rooms, Zoom rooms, XYZ. It gives you, it helps the customer who may be engaging with you, also tells Google that's another match. It's another signal that you provide that service. And that is hugely, hugely important. So I would recommend coming in here and maybe adding a question every month. All right, so that's it for the content. The only thing I'm going to go into is how you can look at your performance.
Let me ask a couple more questions that have
Of
come in.
course.
Can you add an app for my transportation business for convenience of my customers to the Google My Business?
You could add a link to the app, but all the business listing does is present information related to what you do, who you do it for, and what's the location that you do that service in. So
Okay,
you could create a post with a button that says download our app, but you can't integrate it. You could take a photo of the app, you could take a video of the app, but you can't actually integrate the app with it.
Okay. Google asks for proof of insurance to complete my profile. Is this important to them?
Okay, so that's a good question. Something I would recommend, I think I talk a little bit later on. Your business listing should match your company name, right? So you want it to be, so my marketing company is Cape and Plymouth Business Media, LLC, right? I'm not going to put that in my business listing. First of all, it's long enough to begin with. If Google challenged me and says, I want you to prove you own this business, if I gave them a certificate or an insurance certificate and it didn't have LLC on it, it had LLC on it, this didn't, I would be fine. The moral of the story is you can get flagged. You want to be honest about the information that you give. I would keep, the other thing I like about having my CapeSpace address is I can get a lease with my business name and my address on it. And sometimes they'll ask for that also. Sometimes they'll ask for a sign up front. Sometimes they'll ask for different things. I would recommend you get a minimum of 2 or 3 pieces of information that support your business name at that location. It could be your cell phone bill, like get your cell phone bill put in that location. It could be a lease. It could be a internet. It could be, I've never heard insurance. That's a new one. But it could be any of these things. A picture of you holding a sign with your business name at the address, right? And physically see from the map that, all right, this person's there, they're real. It's very rare, but you will come under a challenge once in a while to prove that you actually exist.
Okay. If you have a review, you know that you had 2 reviews, but they didn't show up on your Google My Business site. Any idea where you might look for them?
Yeah, so Google has an automated algorithm right now that is suppressing what they believe to be fake reviews or bot reviews. You can see them. So again, if you're an admin on the profile and you type in your business name, you should be presented this screen here. If you're not, you can still just say Google My Business, right? These are the ads. Just click on it. And you click manage or sign in. And then you can pick. So I'll pick one of our businesses here. It brings me back to this. Isn't this nice? I guess they're getting rid of that old interface. You would come in here. So what this participant's asking is they have a review. It's not showing up here to customers. Where did it go? If you come in to read reviews, it should be listed in here, but Google is taking them down. So there's a good chance you may not see it in either place. There's no way to challenge it. There's no way to fight it. You just have to get more reviews, unfortunately.
Okay, that's all we have at the moment.
Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is the performance. What happened here? Oh yeah, just brought me back here.
While you're doing that, one of the participants is sharing an address with another business. Will Google My Business allow multiple business with the same address?
Yes, but you don't want it to be duplicate, right? So if you're at a co-working center like I am, I've got a unit number or a suite number. So I'm at 100 Independence Drive, and there's probably 10 companies here, including Social Security. We're 100 Independence Drive, suite 7, number 555, right? You want to make sure you have some unique identifier. And if you don't have one, maybe go to your local post office and say, hey, I'm trying to get a Google business listing. I need a unique address. Can I make this unit B? Or you can just go down there with a card and say, I'm at unit B, and hand them a card there's a card that they'll give you for a new address. Pretty sure you can just go down and say, I'm in unit B or unit 100, but you want to make sure that address is unique. So the last thing is, if you click on this performance tab, it will tell you how many people interacted with your profile, how many calls you received. I don't have messaging turned on. There is a feature where you can enable messaging, and right from this, this is called a knowledge pane, or your listing over here, there'll be a button that says send a message. I didn't like that because you have to install the Google My Business app, and a lot of the questions were real time, and I just wasn't in a position to answer them quickly. People do send the messages though, and I have found some businesses that have had success with it. I just can't be, for me, there's too much of a delay in a response for something like that. You have to be, you don't, I think someone messaging you doesn't want to wait 2 hours to get a response on a simple question, right? But you can turn on that messaging. Obviously, directions are big. People are clicking directions to your place, and then website clicks is a big one. Don't be discouraged if you don't get a ton of website clicks. Google My Business, one of their goals is to almost replace a website, right? There's so much information here, and they're building it out and building it out. Sometimes you can make a decision whether or not to call the business right from this listing. Some people are on a phone and they'll tap it. Some people are at a computer and they're putting it in their phone. don't get discouraged by the insights. If you want help looking at your insights and like dig a little bit deeper on the why, I'm happy to help you with that too. But it's important. You should come in here and you should start measuring your success a little bit month over month, year over year, right? So, man, January stunk compared to December. Well, how was last January? How did we do compared to January 2022? Maybe January is just a dead month for me, right? So think about all those things and you'll be able to get a little bit of a better idea of how people are actually using this.
Got a couple more questions. Can a review from Facebook or LinkedIn be allowed to be used in Google My Business? I have 68 LinkedIn reviews and over 100 reviews on my website.
Nope. The
Okay.
only review that counts is when someone comes on here and clicks review. That's the
Got
only
it.
one.
Okay, let's see.
However, you should have those reviews on your website, you know. Copy and paste pictures of photos, things like that.
Is there an easy way to point potential customers to read my reviews? Not leave me a review?
To leave a review or to read?
To read it.
Yeah, so if you have WordPress, for example, you can get a widget that will pull in your Google reviews into your website. Some widgets will even allow readers to leave the review here and they'll push it off to Google for you, or at least put a link here and push you off to Google. I highly recommend this. If you've got a WordPress site, this is a great, I've noticed companies that add something like this, they tend to do a lot better.
Question from Tabitha. Do they send you an email when someone sends you a message through chat, or does it only work if you have the app?
It goes through the app, unfortunately.
Okay, I think that's all the questions I have here.
All right, I just want to show you one more thing. There are some tools that you can use. So I want to recap, right? We signed up for a business listing. We did keyword research. We know what people are looking for. We know we found some low competition terms that match potential customers to our service. We identified all those phrases. We put tons of content in Google My Business. Any place we can write something, we want to incorporate those phrases, right? We put content on our website. We built pages for things, right? Maybe we built some new pages because there were some key phrases that didn't fit anywhere else. This is all telling Google what you do, right? We looked at the performance on Google My Business, but there are some tools. This is called SE ranking. I'm just going to show you this really quickly. I don't know who I want to show here. I guess I'll show heat pumps. This tool will go out as a sort of an anonymous person, and I could put my key phrases in here, right? And there's tons of tools like this. Bright Local has one. This is called SE ranking. It's one of the cheaper ones I really like. I can put my phrases in here and it will actually tell me where we rank in the maps, and I can track that over time. So why is this beneficial, right? I can tweak my homepage, add content, add a blog, keep building out my Google My Business listing, and then I can see what's the impact I'm actually doing here. Where do I actually show up? And this will give it to me all in one nice tidy screen. Another thing that this tool does is it will audit my website and tell me if it needs to be faster. It'll give you suggestions on content. It gives you a million different things, right? So this is really next level stuff, but the tracking of this is something, once you get going, would really, you can actually get a lot of business for this. This is something that can really help your company. So I would implore you, if you do go down this road, figure out a way to track and measure what your impact is. And that's pretty much it, Mark.
Okay, Dale. Thank you very much. This was great.
My sources.
The video of this webinar will be available in the next day or so. Everyone who registered gets a copy of it. I have provided Dale's email address in the Q&A answers in the chat box. So if you have additional questions and you want to have a dialogue with him via email, just email him. And we look forward to seeing you again in another SCORE webinar. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.